I'm Robert, and I thought I knew everything about love after 15 years with Clara, my wild-hearted wife. Our life's been a canvas of adventure-chasing sunsets across continents, losing ourselves in the chaos of foreign streets and building a bond I swore was unbreakable. But on a trip to the Maldives, in a paradise where the ocean mirrors the sky, something shifted beneath the surface of our perfect world. As the waves whispered secrets under our overwater bungalow, a moment unfolded that tore through every boundary I'd ever known, leaving me breathless, confused, and craving answers. What did Clara do that changed everything in a single, heart-pounding instant? Picture this. I'm standing on the edge of a dream, the kind of place where the world feels like it's holding its breath just for you. My name's Robert, and at 43, I've carved out a life that's as much about the journey as it is about the destination. I've got Clara by my side, my wife of 15 years. A woman of 41 whose spirit burns as bright as the sun over a tropical horizon. We've built a marriage on trust, on the kind of love that thrives when you're lost in a foreign city or hiking through untamed landscapes. Together, we've wandered through the electric chaos of Tokyo's neon-lit streets, sipped wine under the golden glow of Tuscan vineyards, and chased sunsets in corners of the world most only see in pictures. Travel isn't just a hobby for us, it's the heartbeat of who we are. This trip, though, was set to be something different. I couldn't put my finger on it at the time, but there was a whisper in the air, a sense that this getaway would linger in my memory for reasons I couldn't yet grasp. We'd chosen the Maldives, a slice of paradise where the ocean stretches out like a sheet of glass, shimmering turquoise under an endless sky. As our plane descended, I caught my first glimpse of those tiny islands, specks of white sand ringed by water so clear it seemed unreal. When we stepped off the boat at Coral Haven Resort, the warm, humid air wrapped around us like a welcome embrace. Our overwater bungalow was straight out of a fantasy glass floors, revealing the reef below. A private deck where the waves whispered secrets just beneath us. The powdery sand felt like silk under my feet as Clara and I made our way to the beach. After unpacking our bags at Coral Haven Resort, the day was still young, the sun high and unrelenting, and all I wanted was to soak in the serenity of this paradise. The beach stretched out before us, a canvas of pristine white sand kissed by the gentle waves rolling in. The sound of the water lapping against the shore was rhythmic, almost hypnotic, blending with the distant calls of seabirds. The air carried the sharp, briny scent of salt water, mingling with the faint sweetness of tropical blooms. All around, vacationers dotted the landscape, sprawled out under vibrant umbrellas in shades of coral and lime. Their laughter and chatter a soft hum beneath the ocean's song. Clara found a spot near the water's edge and settled into a padded lounger, her wide-brimmed hat tilted just so, casting a shadow over her face as she cracked open a novel. She took a slow sip of coconut water, the condensation dripping down the glass, and gave me a small, contented smile before diving into her story. I watched her for a moment, feeling that familiar warmth in my chest, then decided to stretch my legs and grab a drink. Just a short walk across the warm sand, a tiki bar beckoned, a rustic little setup with bamboo poles holding up a thatched roof. Strings of tiny lights dangling even in the daytime, promising a cozy glow come evening. I ordered a pina colada, the sweet tempts of pineapple hitting my tongue as I leaned against the bar, taking in the scene. That's when I noticed two women, sitting a few stools down, their easy banter catching my attention. I struck up a conversation with them, and before long, I learned their names were Mia and Lauren. They were friends on a getaway, just like us, with stories of their own adventures spilling out over fruity cocktails. There was an easy vibe between us, and after a while, I invited them to join Clara and me for a chat back at our spot on the beach. They agreed with bright smiles, and soon we were all walking back toward the overwater bungalow to grab some shade, and continue getting to know each other. The wooden walkway creaked under our steps as we made our way to the bungalow. The ocean, glittering like a field of diamonds below us. I pushed open the door and stepped inside, instantly struck by the sheer luxury of the space. The room was expansive, with a king-sized bed draped in crisp white linens that seemed to glow in the soft light filtering through the windows. A glass coffee table sat in the center of the living area, reflecting the panoramic view of the sea beyond the floor-to-ceiling windows. It felt like we were floating above the water, the turquoise expanse stretching out endlessly, interrupted only by the occasional ripple of a fish darting beneath the surface. The air inside was cool, a welcome contrast to the humid warmth outside, and carried a faint scent of jasmine from a diffuser on a side table. Clara busied herself in the corner, setting up a small electric kettle to make tea, the faint hum of it filling the quiet as she rummaged for cups. Mia, Lauren, and I settled onto the plush sofa, its deep cushions sinking under our weight. We started with small talk comments about the resort's beauty, little anecdotes from our travels. The atmosphere was a touch awkward at first, like we were all feeling out the edges of this new dynamic, but it eased up as the conversation flowed. Clara brought over the tea, steam curling from the cups as we sipped the warm, herbal blend. And soon we were laughing over shared stories of missed flights in quirky roadside diners in far-off places. I caught Clara watching us as we chatted, her smile tight, almost unreadable, like she was holding something back. I didn't think much of it at first, just figured she was taking in the moment in her own way. But as the afternoon stretched on in our overwater bungalow, something shifted. Clara's gaze lingered on me, then on Mia and Lauren, her expression still a puzzle I couldn't solve. Then, out of nowhere, she suggested something that made my heart skip a beat, a scenario so far outside our norm that I thought I'd misheard her at first. She wanted to capture a moment, something raw and unscripted, with her phone as the lens. She spoke with a calm certainty, proposing that Mia and Lauren join us in an intimate exploration. A dance of boundaries pushed just for the thrill of it, all while she directed and recorded. My mind reeled, but before I could fully process it, Mia and Lauren exchanged a glance, a mix of curiosity and hesitation, and nodded. And just like that, the air in the room changed, charged with a tension I hadn't anticipated now. Standing here in the middle of this surreal scene, a haze, I'm caught in a storm of conflicting emotions. My chest tightens with discomfort, a nagging voice in my head questioning how we even got to this point. I've always trusted Clara, followed her lead on countless adventures. But this feels like stepping off a cliff with no idea where I'll land. Yet, there's something else too strange. Electric rush pulsing through me as I hear her voice, steady and commanding, guiding every move. She tells me to let go, to push past the reservations clawing at my mind, to just be in this moment. Her words cut through my doubt like a blade, and I find myself complying, almost hypnotized by her control as she holds up her phone, capturing every second with an artist's precision. The room feels like it's shrinking, the walls closing in with an intensity that's almost suffocating. My senses are on overdrive. Mia's touch is warm, a grounding heat against my skin as she follows Clara's quiet instructions. Lauren's presence is softer, her closeness a whisper of something tender yet daring, brushing against me in ways that send shivers down my spine. Clara's voice remains the anchor, sharp and clear, slicing through the haze of my confusion. The next morning, I wake to the gentle rhythm of waves lapping against the stilts of our overwater bungalow at Coral Haven Resort. My mind is a tangled mess, still spinning from the whirlwind of last night's events. I lie in bed, staring at the wooden beams of the ceiling, feeling a heavy tension coiled tight in my chest and shoulders, like a spring ready to snap. Every thought circles back to Clara's bold direction, the way she orchestrated everything. with such confidence, and how I let myself get swept up in it all. My heart thuds unevenly as I wrestle with the memory of those intense, boundary-pushing moments. I turn my head and see the bed beside me empty. Clara's already up, and through the open balcony door, I spot her silhouette against the morning light. She's sitting there, a cup of coffee in her hands, her phone resting on the small table beside her. The sight of that phone sends a jolt through me, a reminder of the footage it holds. I take a deep breath, forcing myself to move and shuffle out of bed. The wooden floor is cool under my bare feet as I step outside. The morning sun bathes my skin in warmth, a stark contrast to the chill of uncertainty inside me. The ocean glitters endlessly before us, a serene backdrop to the storm in my mind. I settle into the chair across from Clara, my throat tight as I search for words. She glances at me, her eyes calm but searching, and I finally muster the courage to speak. Why did you do it? Why last night? Why? All of that. My voice, it's quieter than I intend, almost lost in the sound of the waves. Clara sets her coffee down, her expression shifting into something between amusement and gravity. She leans forward slightly, her gaze locking with mine. I've had this fantasy for years, Robert, she says, her tone steady. Something I've kept buried, something I never thought I'd act on. But being here, so far from home, where no one knows us, I felt safe to explore it with you. Only with you. She pauses, letting that sink in. I wasn't sure how you would react, but I trusted you enough to take this step with me. As I sit here now, looking back on that wild night at Coral Haven Resort, I can't help but feel a profound shift deep within me. That moment, as unsettling as it was at first, became a catalyst, a spark that reignited something between Clara and me. The rest of our trip in the Maldives unfolded with a vibrant, almost electric energy coursing through us like we'd unlocked a hidden door in our relationship. We spent our days diving into the crystal-clear lagoon, the water cool and silky against our skin, schools of tropical fish darting around us like living jewels. We'd swim until our muscles ached, laughing as we splashed each other, the weight of the world melting away under that endless turquoise sky. At night, we dined under a canopy of stars, the resort's lanterns casting a warm glow over our table. As we savored fresh seafood and sipped chilled wine, the conversations flowed like never before, honest, unguarded. We talked about our deepest desires, the boundaries we'd once tiptoed around, and the vulnerabilities we'd kept hidden, even from each other. It was as if that night stripped away layers of pretense, leaving us bare in the best possible way. I have to admit, as shocking as the experience was, it wove a tighter bond between us. It revealed a level of trust I hadn't fully grasped. We had a willingness to step into the unknown together and come out stronger. There's a part of me, a bigger part than I expected, that would jump at the chance to explore something like that again, to feel that rush of adrenaline and connection. I don't know when or how such an opportunity might come, but the thought lingers, a quiet thrill in the back of my mind. It's strange to think how a single moment, one daring leap, could reshape the way I see us, the way I see love itself. Our last day at the resort arrived too soon. I remember packing our bags in the overwater bungalow, folding clothes with a heaviness in my chest, not ready to leave this paradise behind. Clara and I took one final walk along the beach, the powdery sand warm beneath our bare feet, the ocean whispering its eternal secrets. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. If you enjoyed this story, this will help us create more engaging stories for you.